Good midday, good midday, good midday. Another wonderful day in the neighborhood. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. It is such an awesome opportunity to be able to come and to be with you on this great, wonderful Wednesday morning, noon, afternoon, depending upon which time zone you are in. So we are grateful to God for you, one and all, being a part of this moment and this hour. And so we are grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. So welcome, 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 whether you are watching live or whether you will watch it later. We just want to welcome you, one and all, to this awesome opportunity of learning as we gather ourselves together to give God glory and praise. Linda Arrington, how are you? Debbie Toomer, bless you. Bless you. Thank you for being here with us. Minister Sarah Jenkins, Carletta Williams, good to have you on board with us on today. Grateful to God, grateful for you, one and all, being a part of this splendorous moment of encounter, one with the other. Valerie White, thank you so much for being here. Carolyn Williams, bless your heart. I'm checking up on you, making sure that you're doing okay. And we want to make sure all is well with you and yours. Chaplain Hearns, bless you, Jamie. Jamie, good to have you here. Lavonda Jones and Stephanie Hurd, bless your heart. Okay. And so we are again thankful to God for each and every one of you who have come and decide that you want to be a part of this moment again, whether it's live or whether it will be Memorex later. Okay, and so we are grateful and thankful. So, if you don't mind, you know what I need you to do: hit the share button, and let's get this out to as many people as we possibly can. I think that's relevantly important that we would do so. Rhonda Fletcher, bless your heart. Thank you for being here. And for that, we give God glory and praise. Christy Mansell, thank you for being here. And we're thankful to God for you and your family. And we are thankful for all the great things that our God is doing, has done, is doing, and shall do, because there has to be some level of anticipation that takes place. And I think that's overwhelmingly important. Tom Swanson, Minister Faith Thornton, thank you so much, Janice. Knowing all is well, and so thank you again. Let me get back to where I was yesterday. We talked about a couple of things. We shared a couple of things. Where now, other than DNA, Preston Frost, bless you for being here. Thank you so much. Okay, okay, okay. Way to go, Preston. Um, I want us to think about something because I think this is important. Tell Pastor Pettis we said hello. How do I want to say this? Who I am and who I think I am are two different I ams. Who I am and who I think I am are two different I ams. Okay. Cecile Vernice, bless you for being here on this great day. Rosabelle, bless you. Thank you for being here with us because I have learned that behavioral activities and different things that happen are predicated upon environment, predicated upon association, predicated upon, hey, Sherry Lovelace Cameron, predicated upon, predicated upon uh, assimilation, um, predicated upon environment. And the funny thing about all of the things that I just previously said have absolutely no effect on what God says I am. And where I struggle is because from time to time, there's a real good possibility that I'm spending more time with people who have spoke into me what I'm not rather than what God says I am. LMA, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Sister Thomas, good to have you here with us today. I need us to think about this. Ann Saunders, good to have you. I believe that I would have been a better person if I would have paid attention to what God says I am rather than me listening to what other people say and allowed that to influence unconsciously my behavior. I would have lived better life. I would have had more to life. I probably would not have squandered foolishly some of the things that have happened in my life in my earlier years. I could have been more productive. I could have overcome some things. But the problem is when I don't know any better, then I become what I know. Ooh. If I don't know any better, then I become what I know. That right there is probably one of the most powerful statements I have ever made in my life, due to the fact that what I know has molded me over and above. Gaither Blair, bless you for being here. Nancy Harrison, good to have you here. And so I need to spend more time with I am so that I will become what I am says I am rather than what other people have predetermined that I am. My outlook on life would have been different. My relationships would have been different. My ability to spend or not to spend or to be more conscientious in my finances would have been totally different if I had known what God says I am rather than listening to what other people say I should be. And unfortunately, Kathy Wilson, bless you. Unfortunately, here's my struggle. Just want to see if we're going to be real. Here's my struggle. Now that what other people, Carolyn Richardson, now that what other people have said, other people have planted, and even some things I've watered myself have now begun to flourish in my life. I now have to struggle to fight against the influences that have been controlling me most of my life and move toward what God says I am. Trina Williams, bless your heart, dear. How many times have we allowed people to talk us out of blessings? How many times have we allowed people to talk us out of breakthrough only because, here we go, we have spent more time with those who have told us what we're not rather than spending time with the God who created us, sustains us, and maintains us, and what he says I am. That's where 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8 becomes overwhelmingly important, because now we need to get into the meat of the of the struggle and the battle that's actually taking place, because I think this is so important. This is so important because guess what? I'm too close to seeing Jesus to be miserable. I'm too close to death to get to just be all twisted and bent out of shape every day. I'm just not going to live depressed. I'm not going to live oppressed. I'm not going to, and I can tell just as good when a breakthrough. Stephanie Slaughter, I can tell just as good. Lavonda, Carletta, I can tell just as good as when I am on the cusp of one of the greatest breakthroughs that could ever come into my life, because the battle within oneself. Now you gotta catch this. I'm not talking about the battle with other people. I'm talking about the battle within oneself becomes so relevantly powerful that you know without a shadow of a doubt that God is getting ready to do something, because there's all of this other stuff that keeps happening, that keeps going wrong, that keeps getting crazy, that keeps being psychotic. Um, and so the biggest enemy that I have is usually the enemy in me. Um, Paul said it. He says we're tossed on every side, yet not perplexed. He says I've learned that in the midst of everything, the biggest problem that I have will never be with you, but it will always be with me. So let me read this to you. Let's see if we can get some relevance into the midst of this. 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 8 says, God is able to make all grace abound to you, that always having all sufficiency in everything, you may have an abundance of every good deed. Gwen Lilly, how are you, dear? I know you've heard, but I forgot to share this. My sister-in-law passed on last week, Ethel Harrison, and so I need you to lift the Harrison family up in prayer. Um, I'm doing her eulogy next week, so we just need you to do that. She was the widow of my oldest brother, who has passed some years ago, and the Lord brought her home just last week. Now, listen, God is able to make all grace. Now, now you got to look at verbiage, Minister Marcia Walker. You got to look at the verbiage that's taking place here. He said he can make it happen even when the enemy doesn't want it to happen. He can make it happen. He can make all grace abound to you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my, he can make grace move into areas of your life where you need it most, okay? So and so that always having all sufficiencies in everything. Look at what he's saying. Look at what he's saying. Look at what he's saying. I got 1 minute. Look at what he's saying. He is saying that even in the midst of moments when there seems to be a deficiency, there is always sufficiency. Lord have mercy. Don't make me shout. Don't make me. How many times has there been a deficiency, but yet still sufficiency brought you through? How many times did you feel like you were just about ready to lose your mind because of deficiency? And this sufficiency shows up. He says, I'm going to make all of the sufficiencies that you could ever need in your life move in your direction. Jesus, Lord, have mercy. Help me to shout. Help me to shout. And see, the thing that many of us need to understand and to recognize is just because you don't see activity doesn't mean that God's not busy. Just because you don't see physically the manifestation and the movement of God doesn't mean God's not moving. It doesn't mean that God isn't manifesting. It doesn't mean that God is not intervening in the midst of this. We're going to come back tomorrow because I want to talk about abundance. I want to talk about abundance. I want to talk about what does God have in store for you? What is it that has been laid up in heaven and it's got your name on it? And the reason that you have not accessed it, Barbara, is because you have listened to others more than you have listened to him. Listen, love y'all with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. I'll be back on a little bit later because I need to talk about the march that's going to take place on this Sunday. And I'll be back maybe around about 2 o'clock or so. Don't forget 6:30, 6:30, 6:30, 6:30 today. Okay. We have midweek worship at 6:30. I'm looking for you. Please spread the word. May God bless you. May He keep you. Is our prayer.